Great to talk to you again, mate. I don't know if you remember, we last spoke for Daughter a couple
Oh
of years
wow,
ago.
that was a fun
Uh,
movie.
that was a great movie. Have you added to your Edgar Rice Burroughs collection since we last spoke?
I actually have. Actually, that's a very interesting. I just got another Tarzan book. It's over in my library, but I just got another Tarzan book. So yes, I did add to my Edgar Rice Burroughs, and I actually got some comics from some original Tarzan comics as well. So
Wow. Okay.
a couple people have given it to me. It's very interesting, and somebody also gave me very interesting, gave me a first edition uh, uh, um, Robert Heinlein of Starship Troopers of
Okay.
when it was called something else. I forget what it was. It was Paratrooper or something like that. But it gave me it's in two separate books, and they gave me the original. A fan came up to me at a Comic-Con. I think it might have been over in Liverpool.
Yep.
And they gave me they're like, I go, you can't give me this. I know what this is. And he goes, no, I have one too. I just wanted you to have one because I know you always talk about literature, you always talk about reading books, and I
Yeah.
just and I was like, well, yeah, I think it's important. He goes, yeah, and I heard what you did with Starship when you went out and you when Starship came out, they had given me I looked over and they had these nine boxes of well, they had all these boxes of Starship Troopers with me on the cover. And I go,
Right.
what are you guys doing there? They go, well, we don't know. It was a publicity thing. And I'm like, well, I'll take them and I'll go hand them out at movie theaters. And like, yeah, sure, Casper. And I'm like, so I took like eight boxes and I went out and I went to different movie theaters the first weekend and just handed out different boxes of
Oh, so
books
good.
at the, and then the next weekend I did nine boxes of it. But I wanted people to read. I just think it's important. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I do have more Edgar Rice Burroughs and yeah, so
Well,
and also Heinlein and other authors. But yes.
but you're still my favorite Tarzan. You always have
Oh,
been. I saw you the movie in the cinemas. I'm just hoping for a Carl Schenkel cut because I know how much it was edited.
I wish we could have gotten Carl Schenkel cut, and I'm sorry he passed away. I always wanted that too. I wanted the because it was a rated R movie when we shot it,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they made it a PG-13. So I don't know how they did it, but somehow they lightened it, made it just people disappeared, and so yeah, I it would be interesting to see a Carl Schenkel cut and see what else was there. So.
You got to get together with Stephen Waddington and Jane March again.
Oh,
Do,
I would
do
love that.
something. Your friend and mine, Devaney Pinn, says hello. She knew I was talking to you today, so she
Oh,
wanted to say hello.
well, hello back to Devaney. My wife, and I'm sure my wife will say hey to her too. We love her, and
Yeah, she's
so
lovely.
yeah, yeah.
Now, how did you get involved in Monsters of California? Were you a big Blink 182 fan?
I am. I love Tom. I love him so much, and I was grateful that Stan Spry and all of them brought me on for that to be working with him, and just he was such an interesting cat to work with as a director. He was like, Casper, this is what I'm going to do, and he would come up to me and he had these headphones. He goes, here in this scene, I'm going to be like, you're going to be talking, you're going to be saying this, and this is going to come up, and then he would give me the headphones, and he would have the music already put out that was going to be in the scene. And when this happens, and this is gonna go like this. So he had it all. He directed it musically. I don't know how else
Right.
to explain it, but it was to me that was so fascinating. As an actor, I'm always around different things and experiencing
So,
different personalities and stuff. But his was so like on point. And then he would send me videos that were then released like 2 years later. He's like, can't show this to anybody, but look at this alien thing. And he would text me these things, and I'd be like, he goes, do not show this to anyone. I would get in so much trouble. And and he said it to me, and I'm like, going, so we connected on this, the aliens and that a lot of the dialogue I had in this was actual dialogue that was said by people that he knew
oh
that were
wow.
yeah, so it was for me, it was fascinating. He's like, yeah, when you're saying this guy said that this is the guy that said it, and he worked for and I was like, I was blown away with everything he said. I was overwhelmed because I have ADD and he does too, I'm sure, because he's all over the
Okay.
place. And for me, it was quite fascinating for me to see and experience this way of working. But musically, the way he had each scene, he would
Mm.
have it all musically, like this is what's going to happen, and then the music's going to come, and then this will happen, and then this music's, and then it's going to crescendo like this. And I was like, well, that's a very interesting way of directing.
Oh yeah, it
So
is. I mean, it's Friday the 13th as we speak here in Sydney still, and the story revolves around phenomenon like Bigfoot and UFOs, paranormal. Is that something that you believe in
I
yourself?
I definitely believe in the paranormal. I love aliens. I love alien shows.
Of course.
I'm a huge Bigfoot, want to believe that it's real and
Yeah.
I love Cthulhu and H.P. Lovecraft. I love all the surreal and unexpected things that we have in our, and you guys have so much down in Australia too. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, my goodness, what you guys have got down there. You got but you guys are like otherworldly anyhow because of everything that you have there. Everything can kill you there, they say. So it's just I do want to believe in all that, and I do think that it would be foolish of us to think that we know everything,
Yeah.
because even reading and studying and learning all that you can, you still you the more you read, the more you learn, the more you realize
Sure.
you know nothing, and
Yeah.
there's so much more that we could experience and learn, and I think that you know the UFOs, the aliens, the supernatural are all things that keep our imagination open to the unexplained and give us
Yeah.
ways of figuring things out better in the future, I think. So
Yeah.
it's
No,
all
totally
fascinating.
agree. Would you describe Monsters of California a little bit like, I don't know, a cross between Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Stranger Things, along those lines?
I think that's a perfect way of describing it. It was interesting because we were shooting it at the end of like the pandemic over here. So when
Yeah.
I was going out there, everybody had to be in masks and uh, everybody was, separate. And so
Yep.
it was kind of fascinating to see that. And then we had that, especially the end scene for me, was very fascinating to see that because I did feel it felt like a Close Encounters to me there. And
It
just
looked
seeing
like,
all yeah, it felt like it when I was there. It felt like it when you were on the set. So definitely had that vibe for me. And just also just him sending me all the videos all the time of things that he said weren't supposed to be out and weren't out yet. And then later I saw this has just been released, and I was like, Tom showed me that a year ago. I'm like, I have that, but I didn't, I wasn't like gonna go say it, but I'm gonna say it
yeah.
now. I don't care. Who cares?
Uncle Jim, your character, he seems to be like a nice guy, but he's also got some serious tones. Did you go play him any particular way? Did you model him on anyone, or was it just from straight from the script?
You know, Tom and I spoke a lot about it, and he wanted me to play it like, he goes, this guy's real, and this
Yeah.
guy, all these are things that were said by him. A lot of the things that you're saying are things that were said. So I just want you to know these are real. A real guy said this.
Yeah.
So there you go, Casper. And I was like, okay, well, can I get a little bit more information on it? Who is this guy? What is he? Because I just want you to know this is set. And, and then he goes, and then he would go into the music again, very much into his music. But he would describe everything. I try to base a lot of things probably off of my father and my experience of men that have been influences in my life. So
Yeah.
probably other
Yeah.
actors and things like that. But you go and you do all the prep you can for something, and then you have to just experience the moment. So you might have a different idea, but I'll tell you something. When the ideas that I have, the perceptions that I have of what I'm going to do always change when I get on set. Well, somewhat
Okay.
change on set, I think, because you have to go with whatever's happening and experiencing there. But also when he would do these music things, I mean, it would take you like you're in one mindset, and then he's coming in and he's explaining it, and he has this like it's almost like you're reading music while you're now seeing the lines. And
Yep.
I played a jazz band when I was younger. I played the trumpet, and I read music. I can still read music. So I would see this, and when he started saying explaining it this way, it gave me almost a way of feeling like I was reading it on a different level. And I understand there's music to movies, and I understand that the good quality sound always makes a good movie better. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
the bad music and bad soundtracks make a good movie bad. If
It
it's not
can.
good, yeah, it can ruin it. It
Yeah.
can 100% take you out. And also just the sound quality, if the sound isn't good in a movie, even if it's a good movie, but the sound quality isn't matched and they haven't done it right, that can take you out of a movie too. So it's
Mm.
key, it's important. That also depends on who the people are and what they are. You know, for me, it completely takes me out if something's off. So
Okay.
so when he
Fair
was
enough.
saying all this, it brought me, I just was excited. I was so excited. I was like, I can't wait to, you know, see this guy do more work and experience him filming more. My wife and I went to his concert in Tampa because we live down near Tampa. I live in Florida, and we went and saw him in concert. We just hung out with him beforehand, and we're at his
That's
concert.
great.
He's
That's so
awesome.
great.
He's a great
Uh,
guy.
this movie's also essentially a father and son story. So, that's something you can relate to. Your family, obviously, Grace in particular, doing so well herself. But yeah, it's a really solid story as well. Not just a under the radar science fiction movie. There's a little bit of depth to it.
Yeah, she's I did love all the family tones to it. He even had his brother working on the movie, one of the military guys in it. So even and he's like, he's a real deal. He's this, and we were raised. He's my brother. We were raised together, and so
Yeah,
he even had his family on there, and I got to meet his kid, and and then I knew some of the other people on the movie already. So it was just nice. It was a nice experience, and then of course, you bring up my daughter. She was born during Starship Troopers. She, played Chrissy in Stranger Things, and
yeah.
she was literally born during Starship Troopers, where I played for the football team. And there, I played for the Tigers. And Gracie, 25 years later, in Stranger Things, cheered for the Tigers. So kind of cool. Always these
So
family
good,
things.
so
Yeah,
good. I saw her in The Fix, a movie called The Fix, and I actually gave
yes.
that a really good review. That was good stuff.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so proud of her. Yeah, she's such a better actor than me.
Are you looking at probably coming down to Australia soon to do the movie with Luke Spark? Is that going ahead? Occupation Rainfall.
I'm hoping so. There was a couple, Luke and I have been talking about like 5 or 6 different scripts. I love Luke, and I'm hoping that these come to fruition really soon. There's one series that he and I were talking about doing that, there's one that I'm super, super excited about. But we'll see. I'm waiting on him. As soon as he's ready, I'm there. I'm all about it. I think
He's
he's
good.
so exciting and very passionate, and I can't wait to work with him too.
Well, like Monsters of California, and obviously you playing Johnny Rico multiple times. You're never far away from science fiction. Is that something that just gravitates towards you, Casper, or is it just something that you like the story of and you'll take it?
I'm an actor, so I'll do whatever thing I can get that, I get my hands on and go, ooh, I can play. There's something I can do here. I get very excited about different projects, and I'm very into sci-fi. I grew up watching Star Trek, Star Wars. Those are my jam. Battlestar Galactica, all those. All the science fiction were great, but also Westerns. I've always been in Westerns. I just shot a Western last year, and it's out called Guns of Redemption, where I got to be a cowboy and I ride
Great.
horses. So it's Gracie great grandfather gave me one of my first horses, Robert Mitchum. So I had
Wow.
I got to really learn how to ride really well. I love doing Westerns too, and I think a lot of sci-fi movies are just Westerns in space. So.
Basically. Thanks so much for your time again, Casper. Really nice
Thank
to
you,
see
Shane.
you. And
You
you'll
too, Shane.
always be my Lord Greystoke. That is for
Oh,
sure.
well, I am so grateful being the 20th Tarzan. It's an honor. Mine is Johnny Weissmuller. He did seven Tarzans. He's the sixth. So
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of Tarzan. I really want to do it. Someday I hope to do Old Man Tarzan.
All right. I will back that 1000%.